is a little bit of an honor. Is a little bit of an honor. Is a little bit of an honor. Is a little bit of an anomaly. Hello everybody and welcome to a very delayed vintage toy haul video. Yeah, so it's George here in the guise of Corgi Jr.'s Land Rover recovery truck. I hope you're all well. Yeah, so back in July, so this is nearly 2 months ago, I went to my mate's vintage toy shop in Warwick and I had a spend up, as you do when you go there. So yeah, I've only just gotten round to making a haul video from that. So yeah, let's get started. First off, let's go in alphabetical order with these collections as we usually do. And for the letter B, it's a bit of an anomaly because whilst I do apparently already have some items from this manufacturer in my collection, I didn't realise who made them up until now. And I just saw this item. It's a little set, and I thought, do you know what? I like that. So this is a Russian armoured staff car with an artillery trailer and a little field gun. It's a really nice little set. Die-cast base. The base on the armoured car is plastic, and so are the wheels and everything. But everything else is just really hard die-cast metal. It's very solid. 1950s, 1960s actually, I want to say. And it's got the little Russian emblem on the side of the staff car. Really, really nice. I don't know what that says. It says something 85k. Yeah. But it took me ages to find out the name of the manufacturer. And I can't pronounce it. I mean, it was written in sort of anglicised letters, so you could actually try and pronounce it, but I'm not sure how to pronounce it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop it up on the screen now so that you can make of that name what you will. Hopefully there might be some Russian people watching this who can shed a little bit of light on how to pronounce that. I just really like this. It's clearly just a sports car with a bit of armour plating on it. One thing I like about this gun is that the gun actually goes up and down. Really, really nice little thing. And it wasn't too expensive for me either. So yeah, just interesting little bit of merch that. For C, in Corgi, we have, first off, this Citroen Dandy with its original box. I've wanted one of these for ages and my mate knew that, so as soon as it came in he notified me and I went and picked it up after I asked him to hold on to it for me. It's really nice. I think it was some sort of collaboration between Citroen and Morris or NG in the 60s. I can't remember. The box is a little bit tatty. It's creased on this side and this end is missing one of the flaps, but when you see the car itself, that makes all the difference. It's a dark burgundy colour. There isn't really any paint chips on it. The boot opens and so do both doors. There we are. And no, the seats don't tilt forward, but that doesn't matter. Oh, actually no, they do. They do. They're just a bit stiff. And yeah, there you go. But yeah, and it's got little diamond lights as well, and the suspension still works. It's got really nice little wire spoked wheels. Oh god. Well, that's knocked a few pounds off it. I think it's fine. I think it survived. Yeah, very, very nice. And it says Corgi Toys Citroen Dandy underneath, made in Great Britain. So yeah, that's very, very nice, and that was one of the first things that I've bought from him, really. Another Corgi toy that I've wanted for absolutely ages is this little Corgi Toys Polizzi Volkswagen Beetle, and it's so nice. I love the colour scheme just because it's so unusual. It has an opening bonnet well, opening boot I should say, at the front, because that's not where the engine is. And the bonnet at the back does open as well, if I can get it to work. Yes, there you are, and you can see the engine. Another thing I love is that the light on top controls the steering, and it's still got the decals on the sides, a little bit tatty and it's a bit battered. Unfortunately, one thing that I did notice only until I got it home was that it's missing one of the little gems in the headlights, but that shouldn't hopefully be too much of a palaver to get a spare for. But I'd rather get a spare than just buy a completely different one, because, you know, even though it's battered, it's not in too bad condition. Next up, we've got two Corgi Classics. This is a Corgi Classics Bentley blower, I think it's called. It's really, really nice. It's got number 3 on the front radiator, and unusually for this sort of car, it's got the big long running boards, which I think looks really, really nice. It's got the Union Jack sticker just above the little case on the side. It's got the case on the back with number 3 on. It's got a canvas roof, which does come off, I think. And then there's the driver's side with the driver in it. And he's got one window open. I think, unfortunately, part of that, because that's so flimsy, that little bit there, part of that has actually snapped, which is a real shame because it's a beautiful car. But it's a very nice model, and I think they recast this for the Avengers set that Corgi Toys did in the 60s. Not Avengers as in Marvel Avengers, but there was a crime detective series called The Avengers. So that's the Daimler. Here is another Corgi Classics, and it's a Daimler this time from the early 1900s, 1910s. I love the detail on the little water pressure or oil temperature gauge on the front, and you can see the corrugated pattern in the top of the radiator, which means basically it's a Daimler. It has still got the gems in the headlights, really nice detailing on the radiator. I love the horn in the centre, and it's still really, really nicely detailed. I mean, I know these are 60s, 70s, but yeah, and they're not too desirable, I'm not sure, but really nice detailing underneath as well, and around the back on the other side. It's such a nice thing. It's very hefty as well, very heavy, and you know, I mean, even though it is designed as a toy, it's, you know, you wouldn't want to bash this around too much, and it rolls really nicely as well on those very thin wheels. I think it's an orange colour. Now, kind of moving on to D for Dinky, I didn't actually buy any official Dinky toys, but when I was looking in the cheap section of my mate's shop, which is like Lido Days Gone, Matchbox models of yesteryear, I saw a load of those little really cheap tatty souvenir London buses that you get in, like, well, London really, and I saw one that I thought, okay, I've got to get that one just because it's different, and even though it's not Dinky Toys, it will go in my collection. Here it is. It's got wheels that clearly don't suit a Bristol Routemaster, but I just love the Dinky Toys sticker. I don't know if that's original or if somebody's actually added that on before it came to his shop, but it's a number 10 bus, and I think, is it red and white or green and white? I'm not sure. So there is literally nothing on the bottom. I mean, it's hefty, and it doesn't roll too well because it's cheap, made in China and that. Like I say, it's just a nice thing to give to the kids, but I just had to get it just because it says Dinky Toys on it, and even though it's not Dinky Toys, it will go in my Dinky Toys collection just because, just for the hell of it really. Now we're moving on to the letter H for Hornby, and something that I have wanted ever since I was very, very little. I have seen it several times over the years in different shops and thought about buying it, but not bought it for some reason. I saw one in my mate's shop last time and I just thought, okay, I've got to buy one. I know I haven't got a model railway set up yet. I would like to have one in some point in the future, but I just had to buy this Hornby Railways Virgin livery Class 47. I love this. I love the old Virgin Trains livery. It just feels weird seeing the Virgin high-speed trains livery on something that is clearly a freight train engine. I think this is from the railroad version, which is probably the cheaper end of Hornby, which is the version that I prefer because there's less to break off it really. But it's still very heavy. It still works apparently. I haven't tried it yet. But all the wheels are there. It still has the couplings and all the buffers as well. There's no paint chips that I can see. But yeah, like I say, I've wanted one for absolutely years, probably about nearly 22 years. And now I've got one. So there we go. Can't say better than that, can you? I only bought one thing from Matchbox this time, and it was this little Matchbox Superfast Dodge BP tow truck. I've been looking for one of this for ages because it's got the rarer Superfast wheels. Unfortunately, this one is missing a tow hook, but my friend who's at Banbury Market said he's 3D printing one for me, but how long that will take him, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's in really, really good condition. There are one or two tiny little paint chips on it, but the decals, the BP decals, are still in good condition. The light on the top is still there, and it still runs really well, as Superfast are wont to do, and the axles aren't broken, which is another bonus. So once I get that 3D printed hook for it, then job's a good one. In S for Solido, we have this Dodge 6x6 US Army crane. The crane itself does rotate. Unfortunately, it doesn't move up or down, but I think the winch still works. Let me just demonstrate it. If I can find, there we are. So yeah, it does still wind. It's still got all the decals. There's no chips off the plastic bits. Still got the little actually there's two drivers, a driver and a passenger, and the front windscreen flips up and down, which is really nice. Yeah, I mean, I know it's not a particularly desirable or even valuable model, but all very well made, but it's a nice little thing. It runs really well, and you know, just looks good in the collection. Moving on to T for Tamika. First off, it looks like a cross between Disney Pixar's Cars and Looney Tunes, but this is actually Disney, and this is apparently a model of Susie the Little Blue Coupe from a 1950s Disney short animation, and which was actually the inspiration for Disney Pixar Cars, because beforehand the eyes on cars were always the headlights, but this was the very first time that somebody thought about putting the eyes on the windscreen. So yeah, she's got a little bit of chipping away on the sticker where her eyes are, but apart from that, she's in very good condition. She's still got her little aerial there, the suspension's still good, she's still got her nose and her smile. It's all really, really nice and runs really well as well. This other car, which is also anthropomorphic, it did have little stickers with eyes on the headlights, but because they were sort of perishing, they fell off. I have absolutely no idea what this is from. It would have had a figure sitting in it, but that's gone. I have no idea. I wanted to say Noddy, but his car was different colours to this. It had a yellow body and sort of red mudguards. But yeah, I've no idea what this is. Is this from Who Framed Roger Rabbit or something like that? I really do not know. And there's not really any clues. It says Disney underneath, but I'm not sure what it is. So yeah, a bit of an enigma, that one. And finally, in the category of Z, that's right, Z, we have this. I just love the absurdity of the design. It's really cool. It's a 1908 Ford Model T 3-passenger roadster, and it's made by a company called This Model, and you have to say it like that because it's a German company. Specifically, I don't know if you can see it up there. It says made in West Germany. This was obviously made during the Cold War. So that's interesting, isn't it? But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's got like I wanted to say that was a plastic canopy, but it might actually be metal. The only parts of it that are plastic really are the spokes and obviously the tyres. The rest of it is all pretty much metal really. Really, really nice little thing. There were several of these in different sort of oldie worldy vehicles, but this one was my favourite just because I love the little extra seats just sat at the back, like either somebody who's parading themselves or maybe whoever sat there has had an argument with these people and that this is the naughty seat. I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, really, really nice. I'm not actually sure how old this is. I mean, obviously, like I say, it was made during the Cold War because of West Germany. But yeah, there's not really any year on it, really, apart from the year of the car. So anyway, that's the vintage toy haul. And here we are. Here is everything from this haul this time round. Thank you very much for watching this very long overdue video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it and you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment if you fancy, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in one of my other guises in the next video. Cheers for watching, guys. Take care.
And if you cannot obey, then you will wither away, and your feet will become very sore. And you'll open up your window and you'll suddenly find that a peanut has knocked on your door. It doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense, but if you understand this, then you're mad. It doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense, and the singing is also quite bad.